He's right behind me. The train, we got stuck behind the train. Got everyone up. I'll get this. I'll hold that banana. Take it back. Oh.
What about your goggles?
Not bad.
They're good?
Not bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just pull the foot up.
Thank you. Alright, bud.
Case so too. You're behind me, right?
What?
Case behind me, right?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, pit stops in the books. Just making sure I didn't have a flat tire right there. It's off to loop 2 now of the checkers. Hare and Hound. Thanks to Duke there, making me have probably the world's fastest pit stop. Fastest pit stop a human being could have done right there. It can't get better than that. Anyways, welcome to Hardcore Enduro, where it's all about getting out, riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars and the voice behind the mic, and I need to stay on the ribbon line here. What's going on? Just getting after it on loop 2. Loop 1, if you saw that last video, kind of held back quite a bit, and this video now, I'm going to really get after it and make up some ground, even though I'm getting passed already right there on the right-hand side. That guy is going way off the course there. Now for loop 2, I cut out a lot of the flat stuff, a lot of the cross-country stuff. You get a lot of that in loop 1, and loop 2, as you know, if you guys race Hare and Hounds, loop 2, they add a little bit more hard terrain, a little bit rockier sections. Got some hill climbs and some pretty steep hill descents through the rocks on the north side of Spangler. But right now we're heading over to the south side of Spangler with the, still got some massive hills over here. The trails you can see is pretty sandy, and this side of Spangler does get really sand, powdery kind of soil here, I guess. And after everyone's gone through, it's all chewed up. And we got a hill climb coming up pretty quick that's gonna play with a lot of people. You know, they look at me, I can't even make this little tiny climb right there. That powdery stuff can make it really squirrely for you. And I'm running that Michelin Extreme Gummy in the back. It's not my tire of choice for this race. I just was too lazy, or I didn't have time. I'm not saying I'm lazy. Well, maybe I was lazy. Didn't put in the extra time to change it out. So it barely has any knobs on it. They're only like maybe a quarter-inch high. You know, so they're just not grabbing a lot back there. But you know, just keep on the throttle. And Trixoe here, she is able to eat her way up. Now, normally out here, I'd like to put my M5B that has the super big knobs on it, or even I do like the Shinko 525. That's a kind of good all-around tire. You know, just for this out here is good. You don't need a soft gummy tire out here at all. This stuff just eats it up. But that tire is done. I figure, well, it's gonna last. I was actually kind of curious to see just how long it's gonna last, just because it was an expensive tire, and surprisingly it has. It's, for being a gummy, it's lasted pretty long. Where the hell is that guy coming from? I think it's way. Some guys got really off the course, you know. And loop 2, they did a great job of keeping the course a little tricky. You know, the guys that design it definitely are having fun, making some zigs, some zags, some blind corners, you know, trying to mess with the racers' minds a little, I think, a little bit with some of these hidden turns that they got coming up, or just quick turns. Just nice hill climb up here, nice steady hill climb. I think that was the guy in front of me. I think that was the guy that was really cutting cross country.
Woo! That was a good climb.
It was a good climb. Now we're going downhill. Got a couple riders in front. And these downhill, not too bad. Just let it roll. This backside, they do get pretty sandy, and you end up just I call it just skiing down the mountain, where your back end can be just locked up. Not right here. You'll see what I'm talking about, but you'll lock that back in, and it's just like drag. Oh, here's that one of them tight turns. See, weren't expecting it. You'd think the trail's going on straight, and then nope. They're throwing in a left right here. Yeah, here's that one of the steep downhills where you're letting it roll. That back end's just kind of locked up a little bit. Even though it's better to let it roll. If you lock that back end up, you know, it's dragging like an anchor, but then it's just fishtailing. It's like skiing, like sledding down the side. And, you know, I mean, it's very natural to do that. But sometimes you gotta let that back tire roll, and you let it roll, and then it gets traction again. Still going down. Got this little canyon through here. Had this like gravelly rock. Just made it a little loose, a little soft. But I feel good. As far as my body, I got the pit stop. Had a banana. Had Gatorade, and you know, it's not hot. It's a cold day today, so you're not really pounding the water too much or sweating too much. So I felt good. Wasn't gonna hold back too much. I'm gonna try to get after it as much as I can here. And I didn't cramp up today, so no cramps today. I did the rock section here. I made a couple dumb mistakes and dumped the bike a couple times. And then in the back half, if you don't stay to the end, I'm just letting you know on the end of my race here, my chain guide breaks, and then I'm struggling to get the bike back. My chain just keeps popping off. It actually came off 4 times. I'm struggling to stay on the trail. Stay on that trail there. Come on, Trixie. My balance. I need to get better at my balance coming into those turns. But yeah, at the end of the race here, my chain just keeps popping off, and I finally have to call it. I finished the race, but the last 5 miles, I think I'm going like 15 miles an hour, just trying to baby the bike back to the finish line, which we made it. Got my finisher pin, and that's all that matters. Nice hill climb right here, just letting her eat it up. Come on, Trixie. Yeah, buddy, I love that sound. God, that 4-stroke just eating it up. Got a nice downhill now. Pretty good. Like I said, the Loop 2, they're throwing a lot more technical terrain. This big downhill right here, just letting the bike roll. Staying up on the pegs there. Just light on the brakes. You don't want to be heavy on the brakes here to cause yourself to wash out. And you don't want to go too slow. Going too slow will actually make it a little bit harder to control your bike. You lose your balance. So if you can let the bike roll a little bit more, it actually makes it a little easier to go down. Yeah, another hill climb. Get after it. Come on, baby. Dig it up some ground on that guy right there. Trail's real fun. It's gonna kind of cross country, get some side hill like Off-Camber riding right now, which makes it a little bit tricky if you lose your balance or you get off the line, because it gets real soft. It's real easy to have that back end kind of drag over, wash out on you. You can see how just camber it is. Oh, see, like that, I get off. I have to take this lower line, save it, take the lower line. But it's still squirrely. Not a good downhill, just let the bike roll. Doing a lot of grunting. What's all this grunting about? Just body reaction, grunting. Anyways, got a sandy little hill climb here, and I missed shift. For whatever reason, I get into neutral. Right there. Slipped into neutral, and it's uphill, really soft, and the tire, this is where the tire just doesn't have enough bite. And I'm like, oh no, I can't stop. Just keep going, fishtailing, getting past. Everyone's just past me right now. What the heck's going on? Anyways, when you get in that situation, you know, you gotta just stay on that gas. And that was more of my back tire just being almost bald right there than anything else. It wasn't a steep climb. And I just misshifted at the bottom for whatever dumb reason I did that. And then I lost some momentum, and then the tire, she just didn't have enough bite to get me going with some speed back up the hill. And back down. I really like this up and down hill climb. Other than the kind of the beginning of loop 2, it was a lot of fun. Just getting into some terrain right away. Now coming up here is another climb with a right-hand turn coming in, and I'll stall the bike right at the bottom right here. Why did I stall the bike? What is going on with me? Get yourself together, George. You can't stall your bike right on the bottom of a hill climb. You need to carry that momentum so you can just send it. But I guess she's making up for it now. Look at her go. Who's that? That might have been third gear. I think that was about like a third gear going up the hill climb there. Made up some ground, so we're gonna go up and down some of these side of the hills here. Gotta stay in the line. There's those off-camber trails where you get off that line and then your front end tucks down or your back end washes out. Got the sun right in my face. I brought my tinted lens today. Usually I race with the clear lens, but that tinted lens was nice right now. Or that guy gets off the line. See, I'm on the ribbon line. See the pink ribbon everywhere? I'm on it. He goes high. He was following the guy ahead of him. So then I'm gonna make a pass. I almost dumped the bike right there. See this off-camber? Really soft sandy. It's real easy to lose your balance there. So that's where you gotta follow the ribbon line. Don't follow the guy in front of you, because he'll get off the course. Now right here, the guy in front of me, he's gonna dump his bike. There's kind of this little waterfall chute. I'm coming in hot. I see him last minute. Hit the brakes. Well, that was a close one. I almost just ran over all that. Now the guy behind me, real quick, his name's Jeremy, and he's got the plaid shirt on there. Now he's at the very end, right when my race kind of is over, my chain guide breaks. He's right ahead of me, so I figure I would have finished right where he finished. And if I had some other mistakes, I probably would have been ahead of him. I had a couple dumb bike dump overs that were kind of just dumb. I was impatient. Anyways, so I based my time. If everything would have went well, and I would have placed right where he placed. I think he got 88th overall. Here's another quick turn. Look at that. See, they did this. They played some mind games with people. They're like, where the hell did the trail go? You had to be quick. Keep a sharp eye at the trail turn. Nice little downhill. This was a little tricky rock section coming up here. Just letting the bike roll, letting the suspension do its thing. And right here was kind of extra rocky. That guy's kind of taking his time up there. It's cool to this guy just chilling right there. What's he chilling for? I don't know if that was a volunteer, a helper, or if he's just, it might have been a photographer, I don't know. He's just out enjoying the day, I think. He's just out there. It's like, if anyone's gonna crash, it's probably gonna be right there. I'm just gonna sit and watch. This guy ahead of me here on the Cowie, I should have passed him. I kind of held back. I should have got after it and passed him right away. Later on, he's gonna get in the wash.
You all right?
He's all right. He's fine. He did ask all right, everyone. You know, you get out here. I remember I was out here one time, I think last year, and it was in a hot day, and there was a guy like, I think suffering heat stroke or something, and stopped, gave him one of my Gatorades, and he made it back. But you never know, like people, just because your bike's not messed up, they might be having some medical issue like a heat stroke or something like that. Obviously it's not a hot day today, but you know, just asking, hey, you all right? Giving the thumbs up. You know, that it's just good to watch out for each other out here. So this guy ahead of me, I wish I was ahead of him because he gets hung up right here. Digging a hole. Like, dang it, cost me, there's at least 5 seconds right there. And then it's kind of going, you know, it's hard. It was hard to pass in this section. There was some wash, a lot of rocks, and I could have picked a different line. I feel like here I should have picked a different line just to get around him. It's holding me back just a little bit. Another hill climb. These guys there, maybe they struggled. This wasn't a bad hill, so I don't know why they were there. But just on the gas, gets up. This guy pulls over, lets me through finally, which is nice. Now I'm off on my own. I'm gonna ride my own pace until we get back into the flat part of the desert here. There's a wash coming up. God, that I missed the turn of the wash, and then I got stuck down in the creek. And then Jeremy with the plaid shirt, he makes a pass on me. Oh yeah, I gotta stall the bike. Yeah. Loop 2, I stalled the bike I think 5 or 6 times, which so dumb. I hate stalling my bike. I like to think I have good clutch control, but I think I tapped the rear brake too much without hitting the clutch, and that's what stalled it. Really sandy wash through here, zigzagging through. It's over the handlebars, you know, that the walls of that side of the creek there, they're just over the handlebars. You're going through. I can hear somebody behind me. It's Jeremy right behind me. He's quick. He's going quick. I don't know what's holding up through the rocks, but he gets to this section and then he's really fast. Then coming up here, I'm gonna miss the turn right there. Get off. I just lost it. Got off. There you see. Makes a pass, and I thought I could climb the wall right there. Nope, that wasn't gonna happen. And the ribbon is still down there, so I looked back, and we were supposed to stay in the wash because there was a ribbon on that, so you can see people were supposed to be in the wash still, but it's all right. If everyone starts making a new line, you know, you don't know. You're just going where everyone's going sometimes. In and out of this wash. Super big sandy ruts. I'm going to drop back down to another canyon, and just a lot of fun. I like this. Just staying up on the pegs here, keeping my balance, letting the bike roll, doing a lot of grunting, moaning and the grunting. What's going on with you? Jeremy just took off. Yeah, we're gonna get to the far side of the valley here. We get through this. I call this the south side of Spangler, and we're gonna get to the far side, or the north side, which is all the rocky terrain, which should be a lot of fun. It's a lot more technical than the south side. South side has some major hill climbs, so if you ever come out to Spangler, come up to the south side. They got all the big sandy hill climbs, and if you want to get more technical, then you head over to the north side, which has the rockier areas. So you got some rocky technical trails. Big rock, watch out for that big rock right there up on this little ridge. And just kind of relaxing here. I didn't get after it too much. Kind of catching my breath a little bit. And we're gonna drop down here. There's a big wash here, so you had to watch it. You could really slam into that far side. Coming up here is gonna be a couple of rocks. I'm going right over the top of them right here. Bam, bam. Why did I aimed right for them? It's like the 2 rocks I didn't want to hit. Now
Directly over the top of those rocks.
I know, directly over the top. Like, why? I aim for the obstacles I don't want to hit. I'm like, all right, don't hit those 2 rocks. Don't hit the 2 rocks. Bam! I ride right over the 2 rocks.
That was more dangerous.
Yeah, some of those crossings here, they were kind of high speed, a little dangerous. You know, I know they had the caution deal there, but you could really slam in and get your back end kicked out sideways from getting bucked off the other side. Yeah, get after it, buddy. So we're gonna go the far side of the mountains. You see at the horizon there, just in front of us. We're going all the way over there right now, basically straight across the desert, and we're there. Man, that was fast. You can see how the terrain changes. It's still got sandy washes, but definitely a lot more rocky. loop 1 is the fast, fun loop, and loop 2 is the rocky loop of pain. That's what it is. There's all these fast movers, they get in these rocks, and then it's another story for them. This guy's doing a little bit of a struggle. And what it is, you know, it's being up on your pegs, a lot of clutch control. You gotta have a lot more clutch control so you're not spinning out in the rocks. And then the rocks, if you have a really hard rear tire, it doesn't do the best with the rocks. So if you want to be better in the rocks, get a softer tread tire, maybe air down if you're running tubes, air down, or get a soft mousse, because it's really gonna help you out in the rocks section, you know. You might sacrifice a little bit for the flat desert stuff, but you make up for it in the rocks. If that's where your big problem is the rocks, and you know, you gotta find where your weakness is and then train for that.
Keep the balance, Joy.
Yeah, keep balance. For me, it's balance. I gotta work on my balance. I should do a lot more static balance at home. I do every time I ride. I practice a static balance on the little incline or hill, or I do my figure 8s, and just do a lot of, you know, just on the trail balance. But I need to just set aside like 20 minutes a day in the morning, just balancing the bike, engine off, and really get my balance better. Right here, I get off. I'm gonna nose over. I'll dump the bike so the nose just lost the front end there in that tight little line. It's real soft shoulders, so it's easy to just get washed out. All right, let's go. Get back after it.
So wobbly.
Now catch your breath there, Georgia. You're sounding out of breath.
Get your balance. Settle down.
Yeah, you hear me?
Joy.
Settle down. I'm telling myself to settle down. I always talk to myself while I ride. I'm mentally out loud, or I'm out loud telling myself what I should be mentally thinking about. This is where settling down. See, I get off the line a little bit. I'm just all over the place, almost getting kicked out here. Stalling the bike. What am I stalling the bike for? I'm like a rookie. But this is where you got to settle your nerves a little bit and reestablish, all right, I don't need to go crazy here. Control the throttle and stay on the line. Keep my balance, because I'm getting all over. I'm squirreling all over, and I'm making myself work harder than what I should be doing. All right, went through some of the flat desert. Now we're coming back up into the mountains here, and little hill climb here. Just keeping on the gas. Not too bad. It is a little rocky, but just stay on the gas and balance it. Maybe I could have had my body weight forward a little bit more, but she's doing all right. A little squirrely. Come on, Georgia, get on the line, stay. This is where maybe I'm thinking about my balance, whereas maybe I'm too far back. It's making my front end too light, maybe, and causing me to just pivot. You know, the front end's going left to right. Getting kicked out by rocks. Maybe I need to be forward on the bike a little bit more. There, that guy's taking a break. Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up is good. Nice little rocky downhill, so we just went up. Now we're going all the way back down. Same kind of terrain. Just letting the bike roll. Keeping the flow, keeping the balance. Keep talking about balance. Balance is so important. If you watch any of the RC tire guy, Rich Larson, he talks about balance every video. Like every time he rides, he emphasizes the importance of balance. So I'm always thinking about that too, because when you balance, the bike is doing more of the work. When you're off balance and your body's trying to compensate, and you're actually doing a lot more work than what you need to be doing. So just minute little body changes helps you maintain your balance. Even right here, look, I lose balance, I get off, and I'm trying to plow into the side of the mountain right there instead of just being straight on the trail. Getting a little bit technical. This guy is struggling. There's two guys struggling. Watch this passo coming up. Here's pro level status right now. Look at this, folks. Yeah, look at that pass. Ew. Now I got the pass. I can't look bad. Yeah, hardcore enduro. That's right. So yeah, looking like a pro. Right, made the pass on the outside. A little sketchy, but got around him now. I'm a little tired. Got to stay on the line. Take your time. So if you start getting squirrely, you got to take your time. Don't worry about if you start giving it too much throttle, you're just gonna whiskey throttle there and spin. You know, your back tire just gonna spin all over the place. So take your time, which you can see I'm fishtailing there, folks. I gotta practice what I preach and just get my balance, take my time, get my balance, and ride good. Now going through here, riding pretty good through this rocky section. This is what Loop 2 is all about. Next week, I got the King of the Moto coming up. The King of the Moto is going to be all this and 10 times worse. This is oh man, I got to stall the bike. What is this? Number 5, number 6. The King of the Motos is going to bring it. Well, every hard enduro brings it. So, but King of the Motos is this style of terrain. It's open desert, very rocky like this, and it'll be extreme, folks. If you haven't seen or you don't know what I'm talking about, just watch some videos from King of the Motos, from Tristan or maybe Cody Webb or something like that. And the terrain they ride out there is just extreme. Yeah, a lot of fun. It really tests you. It really pushes your limits of your skill on the bike. You know, it's just not all about going fast, twisting the throttle. It really is testing your skill level and on your balance, on you're able to get up an obstacle, and how you're able to just mentally keep going, because it tests you. Now, Hare and Hounds aren't technical like a hard enduro, but they are grueling hard. I mean, you are exhausted by the end of the race. They're very long. So when I'm talking about like my intro, riding hard stuff, to me a Hare and Hound is still riding the hard stuff, because it's such a long race, and that Loop 2 can get you, and it makes it mentally hard, whereas your body wants to shut down. You know, some of you you give up riding, and I've had a DNF, and that's from bike issue. I've never DNF from a lack of you know, I couldn't go. I just energy-wise couldn't make it, even though there's a couple that have really dragged out where I was wishing the race would be over. So I still would consider Hare and Hound a hard race to do. You know, it's a long race, and it will grind you up. Now coming up here, some big whoops. This is what the desert has. These are monsters, because you're going fast. You're just, God, these whoops are just monsters. They're not the short, choppy ones. If you watch Virginia City, that race, or even Pozo, they have a lot of whoops there, but they're kind of short and choppy. Whereas these are just really big and rolling, and you're going really fast, so you're just really pounding into them. Nice little hill climb through the rocks right here. You see, I'm just lugging that bike up. I ride with my finger. You see my left pointer finger there. It's always on covering the clutch. I feather the clutch quite a bit, especially got to with the 450. Yeah, 4-stroke. You got to be able to feather that clutch a lot to prevent any flame outs, which I've done quite a bit. Right here, I'm gonna head left. I remember running this route last year on a race. So you kind of cut it left, just kind of aim, go straight up. And this was taking a lot of people out right here, that little climb. Get up here, just reset myself. Like I said, to keep my balance. It's very important to keep your balance. You get off balance, you start swirling all over the place, and then you lose control, dump your bike. So right there, I pull in the clutch, I just recenter my body, and then I finish climbing to the top. And that's what I was talking about earlier about, you know, settling down, getting your balance. You start feeling yourself just getting a little crazy, you know, pulling that clutch, just settle down, recenter yourself, and then get back at it. Going downhill now, nice little downhill. Not too steep, letting the bike roll. Oh, I did an engine off, so it must be kind of steep. Doing the engine off. There's a guy ahead of me there. A little rocky, got some rolling rocks. Got my dog leg out, got my foot out just for a little extra balance. But honestly, if you can get up on the pegs, the sooner you can get up on the pegs and stand, the better. Because then you can let the bike do the bouncing around and it doesn't cause your body to do all the bouncing around. Just following by this guy. Need to make a pass. Alright, get after it. He pulls over, lets me through. Well done. More sandy washes, and then we're gonna head back up. So we went all the way down, now we turned around, we're going back up again. So getting a lot of hill climb practice today. Now, you're starting to get tired, so I'm up on the pegs, I'm sitting, I'm up on the pegs, I'm sitting, or I'm just hovering above the seats. You really want to be in that position where you're letting, you know, off the seat and you're letting the bike bounce around without moving your bike. If your body can be like a stable center of mass, it'll help balance you out as you go up. Now coming up here, it gets really bumpy and rocky, and so I'm on my butt right here. I'm sitting down, and I get kicked out. So right there, because I'm sitting down, the bike, you know, bounces too much, and it's causing my body to bounce around too much. And you can see those are pretty big rocks right there, and that causes me just to lose my balance. I get bucked off. If I would have been standing like I preach, the bike probably would have got bucked, but I would have kept it level and I would have kept on going. But sometimes it's hard, you know, if you get fatigued, and sometimes when you're fatigued, if you don't have the conditioning to be up on your pegs the whole day, you know, you're gonna have to sit. So then you got to pick a cleaner line, and when it gets really rocky like that, it's really hard to pick a clean line. Sometimes you just got to ride through the rocks, and that's where standing up on the pegs really helps out. So I am tired right here, and I'm up on the pegs there. You can see the bike's bouncing around, but I'm staying centered. I'm able to pick a better line, and I did go a little bit slower through the rocks just so I could pick a better or cleaner line. A cleaner line definitely helps through rocks. I feel good though. I feel like I'm in the zone, even though I did have that bike dump back there. It didn't affect my mojo. I feel like I'm running good. I've made a couple passes. I have gotten passed by a couple people, but I've made a lot more passes. And for me, riding through this harder terrain is my jam. So I'm excited to get going here. You know, this hard stuff, I'm going to be catching people. So I'm getting after that open desert stuff. You know, when you're riding 50 miles an hour, to me it's scary sometimes, because crashing at 50 miles an hour is crashing at 50 miles an hour. That hurts. Whereas here, you go slow, I'd much rather crash going, you know, 5 miles or 10 miles an hour than 50. Now coming up this climb right here is where those course designers played a little mind games with the racers. They're gonna have a left and before the top, so you're thinking I gotta climb to the top of this peak here, and you get up here and there's a left arrow, and I'm like, oh crap. It's got the W in front of me, so I was all set and making it to the top, and then you gotta cut it short and start heading left right here.
Awkward cut over?
Yeah, it was awkward, but I like it because it's making you, as a racer, it's keeping you honest. You gotta be watching where the course is going.
That'll lose a lot of people.
I was like, yeah, a lot of people are gonna miss this turn. Okay, engine off. just so I can use that clutch now as a rear brake. Because if you got a dab, say you got a dab with the right foot, you can see the shadow there. I got my legs out so I can do some dabbing. It's pretty bumpy, rocky through here. If I can, I'll put one foot back on the peg, but sometimes you just need that balance, an extra dab, and you engine off. That way you can dab with the right as well as the left. Pretty steep down through here.
Ooh, kicking rocks.
Kicking rocks, folks. Now some riders up here's a little bit of a bottleneck going on.
Everyone's engine off.
Yeah, it's all quiet, so everyone's got their engine off. They're stopped, and you start looking for a place to get around. Now, is it smart to get off here?
Triceps getting a burn.
Yeah, those triceps burning. Or just being patient. Sometimes just being patient, sticking in the line is the best bet. I say that now because I don't do that at another downhill coming up, and I bite the dust. I paid for it because I wasn't patient. I looked left here, and I think I could go down straight right there. I was like, I could probably just jam down straight right there, but I don't. Stay in the line. That guy is all right. Alright, make it down. Got the engine running before. Almost lost my balance there. I turned right. You can see I had to get off the bike and catch myself. I don't know why I lost my balance there. Anyways, go through this little wash again. Now we're going uphill. Nice little climb through. Here's a rocky climb, and the guy in red, the guy in front of me, he's gonna pull over, and then the next guy stops kind of in the middle of the trail and get around him. So now I got to get after. I see it's rocky, it's loose, and without having the momentum, you know, you got to carry momentum. The guy in front of me stops. I got to get left a little bit and throws me off. There's a rock. I go over, and I lose a little bit of momentum, and I got just that, you know, the shitty tire in the back, not made for hill climbing. But I keep after it. Feather that clutch. Just keep lugging her up there. So I'm not really spinning out too much. If you spin out too much, you're going to lose control of the bike, or it's going to dig a big hole, and it's going to make it hard to climb. But if you just feather that and kind of just slip the clutch, so that rear end is just going up slowly, keeping your balance upright. If you start leaning the bike in one way or another, it bites less. So you want the bike upright as much, so it has the most tire contact area on the ground. It gets the most surface contact, so it climbs better. Hope that makes sense for y'all. But made it up. I didn't stop. What you don't want to do is just completely stop your momentum. Right here's a little side act. Look at this rocky, choppy little side hill action here. This is good stuff. Like, this is I'd say black diamond material, that little cross section right there. It was good. Now coming up, I'm going downhill just maybe a little faster than I should have been. I should have slowed down, caught my breath a little bit more, but I'm like, all right, I'm pushing. I made some passes. Let's keep going. And right here, it's really rocky, and there's a rock in the middle that I'm gonna roll on, and there's a big boulder, and I'm gonna dart right into it. Right here, watch. See that rock in the middle? Boom, hit that, rolls. It causes me to dart right in the middle, and then I go over the top. So I could have slowed down and just, you know, sometimes you're pushing yourself, just go, 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 go. And sometimes if you just slow down just a little bit, this hard section, especially going downhill, it's not like I need momentum like an uphill. I could go a lot slower and be smarter about it. And there was a rock right in the middle that had rolled, probably from the previous ride or something like that. Anyways, lost my balance, darted into that big boulder and went over the top. But crashing at 5 miles an hour, no big deal. I got my padded underwear on. I'm telling you folks, if you don't ride with padded underwear, you need to get some. I don't care about no 5-mile-an-hour crash. It's no big deal. They crash at 50 miles an hour now. That's a big deal. That's gonna hurt a lot.
Triceps. Burning.
Oh yeah, triceps. Gotta do more dips at the gym. Man, that triceps are just burning. These long downhills. Burning. Need to squeeze more with my legs. That's what I probably need to do. Squeeze more with the legs. I got through that. Catch your breath. I'm gonna get some open desert, and then we're off to the next climb. So you got some open desert ahead of us here.
Oh, you got to-
These guys, good job. I love that. Their volunteers were great today. The checkers really put on a good race. Their volunteers were all over at all the crossroads and making sure everyone's riding safe. Going back up now, went down that kind of the bottom of the valley there. Now we're working our way back up. Got some sandy washes to go through. Got these little rocky, bumpy areas getting out of these washes here. You just gotta be careful, like don't go crazy and lose your balance here. I remember one of the races 2 years ago, I think, I crashed coming out of just a rocky wash like that.
You all right?
Yeah, it's good. Probably just a little fatigued. I don't know if I'd stopped there, though. I would have made that climb and then stop. Here's another guy.
You all right?
He's all right. All right, here's that Stairways to Heaven climb that everyone was talking about. I'm feeling good. Caught my breath, like there was that long in that valley, long straightaway where you could catch your breath. I'm on my probably 5th or 6th wind by now. And there's a big bottleneck up here, so you gotta wait in line. I was thinking he'd be a dick and pass, try to make a pass, but you know I didn't. Just waited in line, but someone doesn't want to wait, and they're gonna come flying in over the top of me. Watch. Not too bad through here. Was a little rocky. This guy just chilling, hanging out. Watch this guy coming in on the left. He's like, I ain't waiting. Which, it's really hard to pass. If you're a pro, you know, people would be getting out of their way because a pro would be pissed off. It maybe is. I don't know who that was. But, you know, just kind of wait and like, be patient. And there are a couple places to pass up here, so you just know when to pick your battles. And I'm not saying you got to be a dick. I'm just saying you got to know when to pass people.
Is that the moose for me?
Yeah, this guy's got this empty moose box. Picked a hell of a spot to advertise.
Once you get up here, you'll hit a hill that goes like this. Just keep your momentum. You'll be fine.
Yeah, yep. Have fun.
That's the key. Just keep the momentum. They got wildlife going through. He's got his dog out here. Little pooch blocking the trails is like an extra obstacle. So you can see this is what hard enduro is all about right here. You can do it the hard way, which that guy is pushing. You don't want to be pushing your bike. Just stay calm, stay relaxed. Pick a good line. Get some rocks in your face, you know, and you're gonna have a good time. A little balled up now. My camera ran out right here, so I had to change the battery. I changed the battery, and then everyone takes off, so the bottleneck kind of clears up. Kind of lucked out. Make my way up here. Almost lose my balance here and caught it. Well, I did lose my balance, but caught it with my foot there. Back on it now. Not done yet. Still got a couple more obstacles to get through. But I love this style of riding. This is what I like. This is my jam. That guy's taking a breather. There was maybe a line to the left. Is he looking at? And this one, little rocky chute, which this guy got kicked out right at the top. But honestly, folks, this is fun. Not a hard enduro. This would be like the easy route. So it's gonna get much harder at the King of the Motos. I'm looking forward to it. hey folks, look, it's Jeremy with the plaid right there. So that's the guy that I would have probably finished very close to, either ahead or just behind. He was in that open desert stuff. He's real fast. So I looked, he finished I think 88th. So if I would have stayed with him, I would have came in about 88th place overall. Instead of I came in 137th. One last little uphill, just keeping on it, keeping the balance. Right on, looking nice. Good job, Trixie. So yeah, overall my race I finished 137th because of the chain guide breakdown. But if that didn't happen, I would have been in the 80th somewhere, the 80 range. Now here's the downhill. I get behind this guy, and we are going dog ass slow. To be honest, we're going very slow. And it isn't the steepest. I mean, it's no steeper than where the other downhills we've done. But a couple of these guys get off their bikes and start just walking their bike down, which I didn't feel was necessary. So he gets off his bike. The guy ahead of him is off his bike. The guy ahead of me, he's gonna get off. So there's gonna be 3 people just off their bikes walking. And I'm like, dang it, I'm losing time here. I need to be passing these guys. I get impatient. All I hear is the brakes squeaking. My brakes are squeaking. And then he gets off walking. All right, so I'm like, all right. There's another line to the right here, and I'm looking actually just over at the train. It's very rocky. I'm not lying. I mean, it's rocky as hell out here right now.
Sharp turn there.
But these guys are going so dang slow. Just get on your bike and roll down. All right, I'm gonna go right. So there's another line. He's going left. I'm going right. And I get over here and I go to put my left foot down, which is a mistake. Never put your outside slope foot down. And it was just a little too much. So I lost my balance. I went to put my left foot down on that rock, and it was lower than what I expected. And so I tumbled over.
That's what I get for trying to make a pass.
Ah, you idiot. Yeah, just be patient next time. And then I noticed, if you look at my handlebar bag, it's open. Got the GoPro battery is gone, and not only is my GoPro battery out, but my phone. Yes, folks, my phone is gone. So it wasn't gone right. I did look for it right there in the ground, did not see it. So I think I lost it somewhere else since the last time I changed the battery. You know, when I changed the battery going up stairways of heaven. So yeah, I lost my phone this trip.
I just went the hard way to get right back behind you.
Yeah, I took the hardest way I could to get right back behind this guy. Hope he has a great rest of the race there. No hard feelings to him. You got to ride your own pace, and he was. But I'm like, all right, I got to get going here. I had that dumb crash, lost my phone, lost some batteries. Let's get to the end. Hell of a trip. So coming home, so I lost my phone. My phone has, you know, your life on it. So I lose that, and then just to let you guys know, my rig. So we started driving back that night. It takes me 3 hours to get home, and I'm about 15 miles from my house, and my tire on my rig blows out, and it's about 10:30 at night. So it blows out. I guess it was 9:30. Blows out. Anyways, I go back there. I'm gonna change the tire. I got spare tires. I get the tire out, take the tire off, and my leaf spring is broken. And I'm like, gosh dang it! I've had a broken leaf spring before, but the leaf spring was broke, and one of the leaves was sticking out to the side and punctured the tire, and that's why the tire blew. And I'm like, god dang it! I can't get a new tire. If I put a new tire on, the leaf spring's just gonna bust the new one. So end up having to call my brother. My brother lives close to me, and he came out, picked up my wife and kids, took them back, and I was sitting on the side of I-5, and the hub with the tire off, that guy lost his chain. That's John right there. Yeah, John's gonna come by when my chain's off. He's gonna come by and start talking to me if I need help. But he said he's all right, so I kept on going. I guess that was karma. I should have stopped and helped him more, and karma got me. I didn't help him enough, so then I got my chain busted. But anyways, back, I'm on the side of I-5. It's dangerous as hell. Cars are passing me, I mean, right next to the truck and rig, like 80, 85 miles an hour. I'm like, this is so dangerous. And I'm on the shoulder down to the side. I can't go anymore because it's wet. And I'm like, if I go down there, I'm going to get stuck. You know, the trailer's heavy. It's just going to sink down in the mud. And I'm going to be calling a tow truck. It's going to cost like $600. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I need to find a a pull-out area, an off-ramp I could pull off more and not get killed here on the side of the road. So anyways, the hub is about an inch off the road, and if I started going, I rolled down the window and I didn't hear it rubbing, so I put my hazards on, and I'm going like 10 miles an hour on I-5 with the hazards on, and I make it, and I end up going all the way back home. Took me an hour and a half to get back home, but made it all the way back home. That was the end of this trip. Was barely making it back. It was a hell of a weekend, folks. Hell of a weekend. So I'm going really quick here. I'm catching this guy in front of me. Here comes Jeremy again. I'm telling you, maybe that rocky technical stuff isn't his jam, but this fast desert whoop stuff, he's really good at it. But anyways, we're gonna crest this hill here, get over top of this, and you're gonna hear my chain. It's gonna break. The guide's gonna break, and the chain's gonna come off the sprocket. But if that doesn't happen, I'm right with Jeremy now. I think I would have finished right next to him. I was going quick. Of course, he caught me, so he's going real fast. But I was filling the zone, and I think we would have passed a couple more people. We might have been pushing each other. So you can hear it. My chain came off. I'm like, the heck? I've had a chain come off before. So I looked down. I knew right away. I was like, all right, look down, look at the chain. Chain is off. Push the bike out of the way so I don't get run over by the next rider. So the chain is off, and the front, you can see that aluminum, the front of the guide where the guide connects to the frame, the weld is broke. And I've re-welded that because it's broken off before. The back is still on, and I made a mistake right here. The back is still on. It's tight. Like I pushed it up, and the chain guide's tight up against there. But I should have reinforced it. I should have put some zip ties, or I do have safety wire. Could have safety wired that on. And I think if I would have done that at that point right there, the bike would have been fine the rest of the race because the back mount was still connected. Well, I get after it again. And because I didn't safety wire that on, I'm going to go through some rocks, some whoops, and that chain's going to come off a second time. So that was off one time. It's going to come off a second time. I go right through here, and then bam, comes off again. So when chain comes off, the back wheel just free spins. It stalls out your engine immediately. And then that back end will just the back tire just free spins. So I put it back on again. It's not like I give it a wiggle. I got zip ties. All right, I should have done this the first time. There's some riders. All right, I'm good. So I got to zip tie the front of that chain guide back on. I know the thighs and the knees were not liking that, man. I'm telling you, you're exhausted at this point, and having to work on your bike just makes it 10 times harder. So I'm off and going again, so that's 2 times the chain has come off. And we'll get going here, and I'm still kind of getting after it a little bit. Got my GoPro bent down, I didn't push it all the way back up. And the chain's gonna come off a 3rd time. I should have, at this point, been like, all right, the chain's off twice, just hold back, you know, I don't need to get after it as much as I did. But I don't, and I'm gonna learn that lesson out here real quick. Oh, chain's off third time. Those big whoops got me. Those big dips got the chain off. Frustrated.
God damn it.
I know. Just toss the bike down. It's the third time the chain has come off. Now the chain guy's still on there. I'm like, why'd it come off? The zip ties are still on. I need to tighten the chain a little bit. I didn't check the chain out before I raced today, to be honest. And now I'm like, all right, that's another thing I got to check. But we get going. Gonna hit some more dips here. And it's off. This is the fourth time, and now I'm like, all right.
God damn it.
I need to stop racing. I've already lost a ton of time and ground, and I just need to get back home. I mean, there's still about 5 miles to go, I think, 5 or 6 miles to go.
Yeah, it's got my chain off. I gotta put my chain back on.
If you look,
Look at it, it's all beaten up. Right there.
the chain's all bound in. It's locked in there. Here comes Case, pulls up.
Chain came off and bound up in here.
Oh man. Oh.
You alright?
Yeah.
Good.
4 miles 75. I did what Jace did, but I think I landed on my head.
Oh.
It hurt my head. I felt it.
So Case was telling me that he crashed, went over the handlebars, and hit his head on the ground. And he had a bruised shoulder when he got back.
Up there.
So we got
on it, and I can't make it budge.
Yeah, that chain's
I'm gonna take off these.
all right. That
Take
chain's.
out these guides.
Gosh dang it.
We'll put it back on, but hopefully I can get the chain unstuck.
Yeah, the chain's jammed in and it won't budge. I can't even move the chain one direction or the other. Like a caveman just beating on my bike right there. I'm trying to get it to wiggle, move, because I got to get that chain out. So I took off the little case saver guide there on the front sprocket, and then I looked down, and I could see that the suspension, the swing arm, was binding it. So I stand upright, putting as much weight, I'm compressing the rear suspension, it opens it up a little bit.
I got it all unbound. Put that back up. We'll zip tie this, and then we'll just go slow and call it a day.
Yeah, so I get the chain back on. There's John.
I'm already done, so I was like, oh, I'll make sure.
All right, that's on. Now I just got to zip tie this on.
All right, well, get out of here.
He's just so wore out, makes working, doing anything 10 times harder.
Yeah, I'm so out of breath trying to get the bike back together, but I do. Look at that. She is back on the trail. So this is gonna be the end of my race here, so now I'm just gonna baby it all the way back. So I'm doing like 10, 15 miles an hour. And oh, I forgot to, I had to bend my shifter in to try to get more room for the chain. And this is where that new shifter is. IMS, it's a steel shifter lever,
Good.
which I do like, and bend it back and forth. Whereas the aluminum, you bend aluminum a couple times and then it ends up breaking. Whereas steel, you can bend it, you know, a lot more.
I don't know how fast I can go.
Yeah, so there's John again, just showing us back on. So I'm just going like maybe 15 miles an hour right here. Last checkpoint. At this stage, you're just like, all right, get home. I'm done with the race. I was doing so good. Here's Zach right here. He ran out of gas. I pull over
Out of gas?
and I asked him if he wants a tow.
Want a tow?
But he said no. He finished pushing his bike all the way to the finish line. So he finished the race. And with that, we'll finish this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Loop 2 is a little bit of a wild ride. Didn't end the way I wanted to, but that's how racing goes sometimes. Next video will be a King of the Motos. So until then, get out and ride and get some. Ew!